Hey everyone, it's Fred Staub and Les Jackson. We've got a great hour of automotive information coming up. Les, sedan comeback, Toyota. The
Yeah.
Toyota Crown is coming to the U.S. It is a high-riding four-door sedan. What do you think?
Hmm.
Will all-wheel drive and a high-riding stance save sedans?
Well, I sure hope so. I mean, if I were the had the wealth of Bill Gates, I think I'd just buy a couple 100,000 sedans just to keep them going.
And then we're also going to talk about the Subaru Outback and Legacy. And then Hyundai reveals their their Streamliner. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
Control.
Because you're on cruise control. Cruise control. Cruise control.
And welcome to Cruise Control. This is your on-air automotive magazine. You know us. We're here every week. I am Les Jackson. That guy is Fred Staub. Hello, Fred.
Hello.
And and we have a bunch of things to talk about this hour, starting with, oh, please be true, a sedan comeback.
Yeah,
Sedans. It's like a four wheels and a low cabin and four door. Anyway,
I heard about it.
yeah, that's right. I used to know. Toyota shows off a new high-riding hybrid four-door, which, thank you, Toyota.
Yeah, it's the Crown and it's replacing the Avalon. So that's pretty cool. And then
Yeah.
we're going to talk about Subaru, the Outback, and the Legacy get a refresh. We also have some pricing information on that, Les. So that will be good info.
Yes, and Hyundai reveals the IONIQ6 Streamliner.
Yeah, pretty cool looking vehicle.
Yeah,
All,
great
all,
name.
all,
Great name.
all electric, and the back of this thing looks like a Porsche to me. So
Looks like either an Aston Martin or a Porsche. Very Porsche.
yeah, we'll talk about that. And as the Tesla turns, yes, there's always drama. Autopilot boss says goodbye, and why Tesla wants to buy back customers' cars. And then they're not buying them back because they're defective. They're just buying them back for another reason. We'll tell you what that is, right, Les?
Yeah, that's right. And talking tech, seats are now climate controlled and vibrate. We'll explain that.
Also, talking about seats and things like that, BMW put out a statement that they were going to be charging subscription fees for certain features. And then they had to put out a statement explaining what they meant by it. We'll kick that around, right?
Well, yeah. I have an attitude about that.
And then I'm going to have an at-the-wheel review of the BMW X4 sports activity vehicle. Talk about high-riding sedans. They call it a coupe, even though it's got four doors. I don't quite ever understand that.
Don't get that.
But we're going to have that as an at-the-wheel review. So plenty to get to, Les Jackson, don't you think?
Absolutely. Things just keep changing and changing and changing, and I can't predict anymore what's going on.
Now, would you feel okay? I know you miss sedans. Would you feel okay if sedans are brought back, they're all-wheel drive, and they sit up higher, so they're sort of SUV, CUV-like?
No, not really. As long as it was attractive looking.
All right.
I wouldn't mind that.
Well, up next, we'll talk about the Toyota Crown, which is going to replace the Avalon. So stay tuned to Cruise Control, your on-air automotive magazine. I'm Fred Staub. He's Les Jackson. We'll be right back.
Cruise Control.
And welcome back to Cruise Control, your on-air automotive magazine. I'm Fred Staub. He is none other than Les Jackson. We are glad you're along for the ride. And let's talk about riding in a sedan, Les. The return of the sedan, has it started? Well, we'll kick this one around. Of course, the Toyota Avalon had been in the Toyota lineup for quite some time. It was preferred by older customers, comfy, nice road trip vehicle. Well, it's going to be replaced by the Crown, the Toyota Crown, which was the Toyota's first mass-produced car, the name of their first mass-produced car. And it was 1955, the Toyopet Crown. Innovation and pushing the limit. That's what it was known as.
Actually, I had a neighbor in 65 whose father had bought one. It was pretty basic.
Okay. And it was sold until 1972 in the U.S., but now it's making a comeback. And, well, if we're going to get a sedan, it's got to be CUV-like. So they've reimagined the sedan, Toyota has, with bold styling, premium comfort, and elevated ride height. Now,
to coin a phrase.
So basically you're getting, this is very much like the next generation of the vehicle I'm going to review later on, the X4 BMW Sport Activity Vehicle. It looks like a giant sedan. They call it a coupe for some reason. I don't know why. But what do you think of this idea? People now, almost sitting higher is a requirement, because if you don't do that, you're going to not be able to see anything. You're going to be feeling like you're sitting in a pit with the rest of the... So what they've done is they've raised up the seating position. They've amped up the styling with two-tone paint, bi-tone paint.
They've now run the grille wheel to wheel.
They've run the grill wheel to wheel. On the inside, pretty traditional. They have a large display, which is, I believe, a 12.3-inch touch display, and things like charger pockets for your phone and all that, which is great. Toyota does a great job with that. They're all going to be hybrids. You'll get either the 4th generation Toyota hybrid system or the Hybrid Max. And it's a 2.4-liter turbocharged engine, direct shift 6-speed automatic. The Hybrid Max produces powerful torque at low RPM. I'm reading right from the release, as you can tell, for sporty, exhilarating driving, and has a manufacturer's estimated 28 miles per gallon combined. If you go with the traditional hybrid system, Toyota hybrid system, you can get 38 miles per gallon combined city and highway driving. So there is an all-wheel drive model available too, XLE, and that gets equipped with the 2.5-liter engine. And that has all-wheel drive and 3 selectable modes. So what are they putting in here? They're putting in the raised seating position. They're putting in all-wheel drive, but they're also adding in new hybrid systems. And I would venture a guess eventually they'll have a plug-in hybrid for this vehicle, wouldn't you say?
Sure.
I like the two-tone paint, the bi-tone paint. I'm a big fan of that. How about you?
I love it, and I like the sedan roof line.
Okay.
I just don't like the squareness of SUVs.
Okay. This roof line you're talking about is very streamliner-like. The only problem is when you get that big flat window, fastback window, you get like sort of a little trunk, a trunk lid. You probably have a deep trunk, but you have a small opening to put stuff in, right?
Yeah, it's well, yeah. I would have to do it in person just to make sure I could load normal stuff in it.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it wouldn't bother me.
Yeah. So will this be a hit? What do you think?
Well, the Avalon had an audience. I don't think it'll get bigger.
Will this appeal to that audience, or will they kind of alienate them?
No, I think it will.
21-inch wheels. I'm interested to see what the ride
That's
quality is like.
Kind of big.
Yeah. So we'll have to see. Fuel economy. That's great. This is actually on what they call the TNGA-K platform. So 112-inch wheelbase, pretty big vehicle. We will have more on the Toyota Crown. I think it's a cool vehicle and gives us a way forward when it comes to sedans. So, hey, I'm Fred Staub. He is Les Jackson. When we come back, we're going to talk about Subaru refreshing their Outback and their Legacy. We'll have some pricing on those two, so stay tuned to Cruise Control, your on-air automotive magazine. We'll be right back.
Cruise Control.
And welcome back to Cruise Control, your on-air automotive magazine. Fred Staub, Les Jackson here. Well, let's talk a little bit about Subaru, Les. You know, it's interesting, Subaru, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago on Cruise Control, how everyone thought they were going to bring out a brand new Crosstrek, new styling, new interior. They come out with the 2023 model, and heck, it's the same thing with just some slight updates, special editions. But they brought out a refreshed 2023 Outback and Legacy model, and this actually does have some things to talk about, really. It's got the latest version of EyeSight driver assistance technology. They're using one camera now, a mono camera, wide-angle camera, which is interesting. It has the latest Subaru Starlink multimedia with wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto. That doesn't sound like a big deal, but I tell you, cables go bad, and if you're trying to do navigation and your cable's bad, it can ruin your day, man. So wireless is good. They got an Outback Onyx Edition with 2 engine options, and a Legacy Sport now comes standard with the 2.4 Subaru Boxer. And these are available in all your favorite trim levels, including the Outback Wilderness. We'll not run some of the numbers here. The Outback starts with, I'll give you the prices with destination, $29,620, and then they step up to the Premium Edition, $31,920. Onyx Edition, $34,720. I guess those Onyx Editions, where everything's blacked out, are good sellers for the car. They're not that. I don't think there's that much money in them to make them that way, but they are profitable, aren't they?
They are. Do we know if all of their models have heated seats standard?
I'd have to look. I don't know off the top. But
because they don't say it
in
any of the press release that the next one up comes with heated seats.
It's a good question. Limited is 36,000. Touring 41,720, and then we go on to Onyx Edition XT Wilderness. I've had that not that long ago, and I thought it was a very cool vehicle. Wilderness Edition is $39,670, and then you top out at the Touring Edition of $43,520. Well, let me look through the things here. Navigation, a power moonroof and navigation package, that's $1,845. I'm not sure. Legacy is of course, being a car, is a lot less money. The Legacy base model starts at $25,415. Legacy Sport $34,915, and if you top it out, Legacy Touring XT $38,715. All-wheel drive, of course. I don't know about seats. I'd have to look at that. I'm not really sure where the heated seats come in, but these are great vehicles from Subaru. They do get a bit of a refresh, the new fascia, the new electronics. I'm anxious to see when they bring out the new Crosstrek, though. I think that was a surprise to everyone. We all got taken in with the spy photos. We thought that was it, that they were going to have a new one. They brought out one that was just a special edition and a couple of few odds and ends, Yeah. But they don't have the capacity, I guess, to build the new vehicles, So, but there you have it. Let's talk a little bit about something completely different. We've been telling you about this IONIQ6 that is from the folks over at Hyundai, and it is just a gorgeous vehicle. 379 miles of all-electric range. It is very aerodynamic. It looks very Porsche-like to me.
It's kind of exciting.
Yeah.
You don't expect this.
It has the Hyundai Motor Group's electric globular. That's I was combining global and modular.
Yes.
Global modular platform. 800-volt fast charging, 10 to 80% in just 18 minutes if you can find the kind of charger to do that. Advanced driver assistance, over-the-air software updates, and this is released, the Digital World premiere under the film Awaken Your World. Awaken Your World, Les Jackson. So, pretty cool stuff. We can't wait to learn more about this vehicle and drive it. I don't think we have pricing on it at all, but it is. I think they are quickly becoming the electric vehicle leader, don't you?
Well, yeah. Hyundai, they're just always on the top of not only technology but value for the dollar.
Well, let's talk about performance here. This week also, they released two kind of rolling concepts in the N brand, the RN22E and the Envision 74. The RN22E uses the Electric Global Modular Platform, which is the IONIQ6's body design with that powertrain underneath it. And then the Envision 74 is a high-performance hydrogen fuel cell hybrid model inspired by the N2025 Grand Vision Gran Turismo and the Hyundai Pony Coupe concept from 1974. It's interesting that they're using that from 1974. But kind of cool that they showed off both an electric vehicle and a vehicle that with a fuel cell. Apparently, they can drift. So it kind of cool that the world of performance is not being left behind at Hyundai, and they're just doing a lot of things, making a lot of stories here, aren't they?
It's a heck of a company.
Heck of a company. Heck of a company there. Let's talk about something from Honda, which was revealed this week, and that is the new CR-V. We saw the picture of the interior, but now we're getting a look at the all-new CR-V, which says right here in the release, a sophisticated and rugged design.
I was going to say that.
Yeah, sophisticated and rugged. I kind of think of those two words when I think of you, Les Jackson.
Well, I mean, yeah, you got to be sophisticated and rugged these days.
It's got a sporty hybrid system. Beautiful interior, very inspired by the Civic. This is a big bread and butter machine for the folks over at Honda. Is the all-new fourth generation two-motor hybrid system on Sport and Sport Touring. Makes it more fun to drive because I think people have said that it needs more power, and adds towing capability. And it has a 9-inch HD touchscreen, standard 7-inch touchscreen. You get with the 9-inch, you get wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It's getting an updated 1.5-liter turbo engine. That has been the hit on this vehicle. I remember when I drove the older version, slow, with that. It's kind of a big, the body grew up, but the engine didn't grow up. So
yeah,
I would
right.
recommend the hybrid on this, not even driving it. But it's a good-looking machine, black wheels, blue paint. That's the look. So there you have it.
That is the look. And they said they have sporty 8 times in the press release.
Yeah, sporty and rugged. Rugged.
Yes.
There's the word. On Cruise Control, I'm Fred Staub. He is Les Jackson. We will be right back. Stay tuned. More to come.
Cruise Control.
Welcome back to Cruise Control. I'm Les, he's Fred. And we were just ending up with a discussion of the new Honda, which you're right, Fred. The previous one was, boy, was that underpowered.
Yeah, 1.5 liter for
everyone complained.
Yeah, so they're gonna the hybrid system. It's interesting. You think of hybrids for saving fuel economy, but they give you that electric boost off the line.
They do. They're great.
And I find sometimes now, for some reason, 9-speed transmissions, 10-speed transmissions, they're a little, confused off the line, and there's a little bit of hesitation. If you have a hybrid system, that little boost of electricity clears all that up. So
that's right.
I would recommend the hybrid, but you can't get a hybrid in this vehicle, though. This is the new GMC 2023 Sierra 1500 AT4X AEV edition. AEV is a company that builds a lot of overlanding type vehicles, and they've teamed up with the folks at GMC, and this is sort of like the Raptor. When you look at it, AEV stamped steel front and rear bumpers, 5 hot stamped boron steel skid plates, 33-inch Goodyear Wrangler Territory MT tires, 18-inch Salta wheels in gloss black, updated grille, exclusive AE branding, available off-road rocker panel protectors. So this is one tough truck, isn't it? It's the real deal. It's not just
absolutely.
Not just, something that's like, well, yeah, we raised it up a little bit and made it look tough. So they're trying to get into that world, that Raptor world. And you look at some of these numbers here, the front approach angle increases by more than 27% to 32.5 degrees. The departure angle improves to 23.4 degrees compared to 23 degrees. And the breakover angle improves to 23 degrees. So compared, different bumpers, bigger wheels, raised up a little bit. So you'll also be able to get it later with a steel winch capable front bumper, which is neat.
That's cool. Do you know if GMC runs the Baja?
I don't know. They've been doing a
remember.
lot of performance, off-road performance trucks lately, but I don't know. They probably do. I would imagine they would. Have you seen a new Raptor yet? I have not seen a new Raptor.
I have not.
No, it's just, this stuff is just not, it's unattainium,
Just kind of squeezing into the market.
Yeah.
In dribs and drabs.
You want to do a little talking tech?
Sure.
Squeezing into, this is an interesting story because it seems like an oxymoron to begin with. But talking tech, car seats with airline seat specification. This comes from the folks at Bentley. They're saying these are the most advanced seats. To me, airline seats are uncomfortable. Like someone designed a seat. We're going to make a seat that you're going to sit on for a long period of time, and it will make you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's going to. In the old days, it would smell of cigarette smoke and aqua velva.
Oh man, and not cleaned very well, but
not terribly clean.
Yeah.
I don't find airline seats to be compelling.
No, but apparently to Bentley they are. They call it the new airline seat specification for the Bentayga EWB. By the way, I only saw one Bentayga, which is their SUV, and a guy was loading sheetrock into it at Home Depot. Out front, everyone would stop, and they all had their cameras out, and he was loading sheetrock into it. And I thought, wow, well, he must really be rich because he's using that expensive car as a truck. But he's not rich enough to buy, like, let's say an F-150 and just use that to haul stuff. And he does his own sheetrock work.
Hire somebody to install the sheetrock.
Yeah, that they would bring it themselves. Well,
Uh,
let's talk about these seats, though. System senses temperature and humidity with an accuracy of zero point 0.1 degrees, I guess, Celsius, right? Every 25,
see, that's right.
25 milliseconds. 7 defined comfort levels of temperature from typical optimum to one designed to cool a fever. Auto climate system is 40% more efficient than manual control. Postural adjust system applies 177 individual pressure changes across 6 fully independent pressure zones. 22 ways of adjustment of the rear seat with additional electric footrest. And a combination of 12 electric motors and 3 intelligent pneumatic valve ECU units controlled by a master ECU for seat positioning and well-being. All right.
Wow.
Can I get
Well,
this in an office chair? I would like it as an office chair. I think that would be
yeah.
kind of comfortable.
Wouldn't that be terrific?
I would say that this is decidedly better than a airline seat, wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think probably about the only good thing for an airline seat is it's sturdy and it's supposedly going to help you in a crash. That's about it, right?
That's it. And it has a tray in front of it that keeps falling down
Right.
because it won't stay up.
And that tray has not been cleaned in a while. I used to bring the antiseptic wipes even
Yeah.
before COVID and
Yeah.
wipe that, and people would be, that's a good idea. And I'd say, here, I have one for you, too. I said, when's the last time this was actually clean? Like really clean,
When's
not
the last time you washed your hands?
just not wiped off with a paper towel. I mean, really clean. So anyway, more talking tech. Hyundai says future EVs will have vibrating seats, not just to keep people awake, but to simulate internal combustion engines and the feeling of having an internal combustion engine. What do you think about that?
Well, because it is so unlikely I will ever experience it. I don't think much of
You
it.
don't. I don't know if it's needed.
No.
I mean that's kind of like what you get in a simulator, where they put the bass speaker under your butt.
Yeah.
And they call them butt shakers, and I don't know if that's really needed or not. I just don't know.
Yeah, gadgetry.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see if that's tech that's worthwhile. Let's do an At the Tesla Turns. A couple of things this week. The AI boss, one of the key people involved with autopilot, Anjay Karpathy, I believe that's when, I guess that's Anjay, has left. And the autopilot department has suffered a 200-person layoff. That is a deep, deep, deep cut, isn't it?
This says a great deal
Okay.
because autopilot officially is considered by NHTSA as a level 2 system.
Means you got to keep your hands on the wheel.
Which is far, far short of self-driving.
Or autopilot.
Yep.
Autopilot in a plane, that's what we think of, and auto means you could theoretically turn it on and go back in the cabin to the bathroom and come back out again, right?
That's right.
You can't, obviously you have to have someone on the flight deck, but you could.
People with Teslas have fallen asleep or
sat in the back seat.
Sat in the back, and they've been killed.
Yeah.
So don't do that.
Yeah. All right. And then here's a weird one. This was from CarBuzz. People are getting texts from cleverly worded texts, according to the Tesla Reddit group, and this article was in CarBuzz actually too, that basically they're pitching them on saying they're offering as much as X for my Model X I paid for years ago. They're trying to buy them back to resell them. Isn't that weird?
It is weird.
So they're trying to buy cars back, like an S model Plaid, for a profit and then resell them. That's kind of desperation, isn't it?
I sure like to know what's going on internally.
Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. I've never seen a car manufacturer do something like that. Have you?
No, no. I mean, yeah, if you take your car to the dealer to trade it in, yeah, it's worth a lot more than you think.
Yeah. Interesting stuff. As the Tesla turns. When we come back, I've got an at the wheel of the BMW X4 Sport Activity Vehicle. They call it a coupe, but I see 4 doors.
I see 4 doors.
We'll be right back. And welcome back to Cruise Control, your on-air automotive magazine. I'm Fred Staub. He is Les Jackson. And it is time for an at-the-wheel review of the BMW X4 Sport Activity Vehicle. You know, we started this hour with the talk of the Toyota Crown, the kind of return of the sedan, the four-door, high-seating arrangement type of sedan. Weirdly, they call this a coupe, which I find bizarre. It's not a coupe to me. It is a sedan because it's got four doors that happens to have all-wheel drive and a higher seating arrangement. At first, I remember when these came out, and I just did not get them. It's like, well, why would you want this? Like, why wouldn't you get an SUV? Why wouldn't But they've kind of grown on me. This one was very nice. It was in. It had the Tacora red perforated interior, the dark gray metallic exterior. Everything you want basically in this. It had the M Sport package, 20-inch M wheels, aluminum trim, M steering wheel, Shadowline interior trim, anthracite leather. All part of that M Sport package. And it's interesting. It's not a M model per se, but it gets a lot of the appearance items of that. If you've driven a BMW in the last couple of years, you will be familiar with all the controls. They actually have this big X on the door cards to show you it is a X4. Rear legroom was great. Seats, not a lot of visibility out the rear because it's kind of the price of style you pay for the roof line. But rear legroom was good. Backseat passengers get a lot of controls for USBs, seats, heating, and all that. The seat basically folds flat, so you've got a really nice storage area. Under the hood, we have the 30i, so that is a Turbo 4, 248 horsepower, 258 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 in about 6 seconds, and a top speed of 130 miles an hour. Of course, is beautifully packaged as most BMW engine underhood engine bays are. Says the call out right there, twin power on the engine cover. 8-speed Steptronic automatic transmission and xDrive all-wheel drive. Kind of you have your cake and eat it too. It's sort of like a sedan, but it's not as squared off as a crossover. Great storage in the back. Now, you do have kind of like a little slit to look out the back window, but there's a lot of storage, and it's very tall, so you can stack things up if you have a lot of suitcases or something like that to carry. So good utility. And sort of a fastback window in the back. Good large opening. You put that rear seat down. You get a lot of the utility of the SUV, but you might give up some on headroom. On the road, it was every bit a BMW. Very sporty, very quiet, very confident, and nothing bad to say about it when it came to handling. I thought it was a good-looking vehicle. It was sporty. It looks like, a jacked-up sedan or a jacked-up hatchback. And I think there's a real place for these things in the BMW lineup. I also like the slick spoiler, top of the rear window spoiler. Just nicely integrated, very, very, very slick-looking vehicle. Now, let's talk a little bit about pricing on this vehicle. Manufacturer suggested retail price is $51,800, but we didn't stop there. We added a bunch of things. As has become common, the dark graphite metallic, there's an upcharge of $550 for that. The Dynamic Sport handling package, which gives you M Sport brakes with red calipers, pops on another $1,200. The M Sport package, which includes some of those the wheels and the look on the inside, $2,900. Premium package, heated steering wheel, lumbar support, heated front seats, head-up display, gesture control, which I never use, $950. The M Sport package, which is called out again for $600, 20-inch M Sport wheels, Destination charge $995 brings it all in at $58,740. Like all their crossovers, this is built in Spartanburg, South Carolina. Engine comes from the United Kingdom. Transmission from Germany. 35% U.S. content in the vehicle. 16% German, 15% Mexican. Not rated on the crash worthiness, so we really don't have anything to share there. But I found it to be a surprise. I liked the vehicle. You could see out the back window okay, but it is kind of a little slit. That is kind of the price of style of this vehicle. Great storage. You give up some of the headroom, but you get a little bit more car-like styling. If you want more, you can go for the 40i, and that is a 382 horsepower engine, which will do a 0 to 60 sprint in about 4.4 seconds compared to 0 to 60 in 6 seconds for this model. All get that 8-speed automatic. I'd probably keep the smaller engine here. I think it was very sufficient for what you would do with this kind of vehicle. I never felt like it was underpowered in any way. So I would probably stick with the smaller one.
And those were actually 20-inch wheels?
Yeah, 20-inch wheels.
They seem terribly small in the wheel well.
Yeah, but it's a high-riding vehicle, so there's a lot of space in there. And it's a pretty big vehicle. It really is an SUV with a different configuration on the roof. Like you sliced off the roof from the belt line up and took away that squared off look and put on more of a car-like look with a slanted rear glass and a little bit more of an arch rather than the flat to the vehicle. So as I said, when I initially saw these things, I believe I might be wrong, but I think the X6 was the first one of these to come out in the BMW lineup. And when I first saw it, I thought, well, why would you want that? You're buying a big vehicle. Why wouldn't you want the storage to be able to slide things in there, But there is a market for them. People want it to be a little bit less big and bulky, but the bottom is bulky. It's like a weightlifter that works out on their legs, but they don't do any upper body. We're a little bit
description.
Trim, but you notice there's not a lot of space for seeing out the back window when the hatch is
open. It's like
open.
a Camaro.
It's the world's worst visibility vehicle. I did not find the visibility to be a problem in this. But
couldn't be that bad.
Maybe because I was aligned with the rear glass and everything, I found I could see out the back window very well. But they are 20-inch wheels, and they do get gobbled up with the ride height of this vehicle, and it is very tall in the back. So there's a lot of sheet metal back there to look at. But BMW X4, I love that spoiler. I thought that was pretty slick.
That's cool.
How they did that, and I wanted to call that out. Just an interesting vehicle. It's not a coupe. I don't know why they call it a coupe, but they do. I guess the roof line they think is coupe-like. I don't get that though. And just real quick, BMW put out a statement because they're getting into subscriptions for things like heated seats and that. And basically the statement said that the point of this is not to charge people on a monthly basis. It's to charge people on a monthly basis if they don't have heated seats in their car and they want to add them, as opposed to that they said most people order them when the vehicle comes in. I would think most BMWs at dealers' lots have all that. And, that's one of my pet peeves. They always charged a lot for heated seats where other manufacturers magically just threw them in. So, anyway, there you have it. The BMW X4 Sport Activity Vehicle. Grab your kayak because you are an active lifestyler. Time for me to say,
me.
I'm Fred Staub.
I'm Les Jackson.
We're going to see you down the road.
Bye.